I had a chat with Diane. She said she was at the bar drinking with Nick at the time of the murder. We need to confirm her story. Let's talk to Nick at the diner.
Very well, Agent Morgan. I have to head back to the department and clear up some paperwork. Go with Emily to the A&G diner.
Okay then.
I'll show you the way. The diner's open from 9 to 2100.
Just as we suspected, Zach. Diane is the key to this case. I have a feeling she will lead us right to the criminal.
That's Kaysen. Looks like the show has just begun, and it has an all-star cast.
And we're back with another episode of Deadly Premonition. So things are getting interesting. We're still trying to figure out the identity of the Raincoat Killer, but I think we can safely assume that we've met every single one of Greenvale's colorful cast of characters.
Forrest Kaysen?
Kaysen? Yes, I know him. The sapling salesman, right? He always uses strange comparisons when he talks.
I'd like to know more about him. What does he do when he comes to town?
He's a salesman, so I guess he sells things?
Well, that's probably one of the things he does. Yes, because he is a salesman.
He comes pretty often.
Is that all?
Well, now that you mention it, he seems quite friendly with the Ingrams, with Isaac and Isaiah. Maybe you should ask them about Kaysen. Okay, I will.
Kaysen is pretty suspicious, don't you guys think? I mean, what was he doing in the museum with Diane? More importantly, why didn't York notice Kaysen in Diane's office? Was Kaysen hiding inside a closet or something? I mean, it's kind of hard not to notice the guy. He's pretty big. Anyway, Chapter 9, this chapter has 2 new available side quests that we can do. The first side quest is for Diane. It has something to do with the painting we found in the previous chapter. And then the next is rewards us with York's car, which is the fastest car in the game. But before we can do that, we have to go to the A&G diner first, speak with Nick, and find out if Diane is telling the truth, if her alibi sticks.
Were you too close?
No, not close, really. I don't seem to have much in common with teenagers nowadays. All they talk about are boys, clothes, and accessories. I don't have much interest in any of those things.
I guess Emily and I are pretty similar in that regard.
Everyone's different.
I don't enjoy talking about those things as well.
I'm liking the way this conversation is heading. Let's concentrate on driving instead.
The A&G Diner. Wonder what the A and G stand for. Any ideas, Emily?
Nope, I don't know either.
Air and gravity, perhaps? Access and games?
Access and games. That's a pretty cool shout out to the developer of this game, Access Games.
Is it important
A&G can also stand for Anna and Gina. Though why Nick and Olivia would name their diner after those two is quite questionable. And George just closed the door on Emily's face.
Welcome, Mr. Agent.
That's rude.
Hi,
He should have at least held the door open for her. Try to act a little bit more gentlemanlike.
Our special today is turkey. A turkey and gravy sandwich. Sound good?
Oh, perfect. Emily, you eat something too. It'll be on the FBI.
Well, at least he decides to treat her for lunch. Though technically he isn't the one paying for it.
Because it's a little too expensive.
Well, would you look at that? It's the mysterious Harry again.
I am here for Mr.
You know, I can't really remember the name of his aide. And I'm not really sure if Harry's the one speaking in rhymes, or if it's just his aide who does that for some bizarre reason or another.
1 turkey, strawberry jam, and cereal sandwich.
Sounds like the sinner's sandwich. Self-inflicted punishment to atone for past sins. He's setting an example.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, you should try this wonderful lunch. It's more than a delicious, tasty crunch. So says Mr. Stewart.
No, that's fine. I've just ordered my own lunch.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, that is, Mr. Stewart's order is delicious, I should mention. And Mr. Nick Cormack is a genius for creating this perfection. So says Mr. Stewart.
Still, I have a hunch I might not like it. You sure that sandwich is that good?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, making decisions based on intuitions is always a sign of bad FBI agents. So
Well,
says
that's a first.
Mr. Stewart.
That didn't sound like it rhymed.
You're right. I'll give it a try.
I'm not really sure, but does a sandwich like that really exist? Can you guys tell me?
I can't believe it. This is fantastic. It's really good. Olivia, I'm sorry, but can I change my order? I'll have what Harry is having.
And is the dish really as strange as it sounds? Because they look pretty surprised that York would change his order.
Nick and Diane. They hardly make the perfect couple, do they? Is it widely known that they go drinking together, just the two of them?
To be honest, I don't pay attention to these things.
Not into local gossip?
Well, when I moved here, I was still in high school, and I kept wearing the same wild clothes from my school in Seattle. I was young back then. And before I knew it, there were rumors all over the school. She'll screw anyone. That's what they said. Totally unfounded, of course. Anyway, after that, I just sort of chose not to really trust gossip.
I get where you're coming from. I used to dress like a hardcore punk rocker when I was in high school.
You? A punk rocker?
Nobody took my side, even when I had good grades. People rejected me just because of what I wore. I was young back then, too.
Even still, I just don't see you as a punk rocker.
And you laugh? Look at you. No makeup on, dressed in uniform, eating a steak for lunch. Okay, back to work. Let's talk to Nick.
Well, we heard the man. Let's go and talk to Nick, see if he's willing to talk to us. Of course he'll keep telling us we're wrong if he really is the culprit. If Nick and Diane are really in on this whole Raincoat Killer business, I don't think they'll just admit it outright and make our job easier for us. But if Nick really is innocent, he isn't really helping himself with the way he's acting and dodging most, if not all, of our questions. Okay, so let's talk to Olivia.
There's something I'd like to confirm with you, Olivia, if that's okay.
Yes. Well, so long as it doesn't take too long.
First, what were you and Nick doing on the night of the murder?
I was here in the diner. Nick said he was going to the bar for a couple of drinks.
Does he go to the bar often? Leaving you to hold up the fort?
Yes. He says he enjoys the conversation with Diane. I thought they went drinking again together that night.
You thought they went
Do the
out
three of
for a
you ever
drink,
go drinking
so
together?
you don't
Well,
think that that's
You see,
exactly what they
I'm really
did
not
that
into
night.
art.
That's interesting.
And your husband
wonder
is
why
well
she
versed in the arts,
changed
then,
her
I take
mind.
it.
Oh, yes. Looking at art and talking about it is his way of relaxing.
People just aren't what they seem. Like a certain someone who was into punk rock 10 years ago.
You are absolutely right, Emily. But you can be an art lover and a liar at the same time. One more thing, Olivia. You just said that you aren't interested in art.
That's right. And
So, how come I bumped into you at the art gallery? It didn't seem like Nick brought you there. You were there alone.
well, I like trees, is the thing. That's why I went there.
Surely you'd be better off in the forest rather than
Maybe
an
she
art
just
gallery.
doesn't like real trees, and she prefers looking at paintings of
I
them?
think you went to the gallery not to see trees, but to see Diane.
Or that.
Right.
That sounds better than my theory.
You don't want to answer? Or perhaps this isn't the right place to ask.
Meet me in the backyard. You can get there from the parking lot. I'll wait for you there for an hour after we close up.
They close at 2100. Should we get something to drink and wait?
Okay, so Olivia gave us the key to the backyard. We can't really go there yet
Agent York,
since it's
what do we
pretty
do now?
early.
I want to hear what Olivia has to say.
And just like what
Let's kill time until the
Emily
diner
and
closes.
York suggested,
Okay,
we
then I'm gonna make
can
a trip
pass
back to
the
the
time
department. I'll see you in the backyard later.
by finishing
Okay, sounds good.
the side quests that
See you
are
later,
now
then.
available to us. Well, we can also just sleep the day away, but I like
about
to
Olivia.
finish as much of the
Presume she
side
wants to tell us
quests
something
as I
about Nick
can
and Diane.
without
Let's hope it's
repeating
not
a
just
chapter,
something for the
so
gossip columns.
we'll do those two side quests I mentioned before. So first up is the side quest for York's car. So in order for us to obtain York's car, we need to travel to Lysander's junkyard. So we're here, and we need to talk to the general. Here we go.
General, there's something I want to ask you.
What is it? Before you ask, though, I can't customize your car anymore.
Yeah,
No,
we've
it's not
already
about that.
done the customization
I
side
heard you've
quest
got my other
that
car
allowed
here.
all of
The
the
one I
cars
drove
that
to
we can
Greenvale.
use to
Your
have
car? That high-spec
faster
beauty was
speeds
yours.
and
Yes.
more durability,
wondering,
and I think the last
if
one
you could fix
was
it up for me.
for the fuel tank.
I won't mind if it costs me a bunch to get it repaired.
Quite important to you, is it, this car? Very well, then. If you're willing to pay, I'll do the work for you.
So we talk with the general again, then select shopping. So as you can see, there are a bunch of other cars that we can buy, and I plan to buy them all, but for now our focus is on the quest, so I'll just select this. I mean, we can choose not to buy them all,
Okay,
but
thank
for
you very
completion's
much.
sake,
It's
I'm
gonna take
gonna
a while
return
to carry
here
out the repairs,
later
though.
and
Go and get a good night's
just
sleep and come
buy
back
all of the
soon,
cars.
why don't you? Once it's done, I'll put it
because
out
I'm a
front.
hoarder.
Just use this key and take
Once we actually get York's car back, we won't really be
Don't worry,
using
I may
any
not
of
look
the other
it, but I'm
cars,
pretty darn good at what
since,
I
like
do.
I said before, his car is the fastest in the game. Or so I've been told. I don't really know. And quite honestly, barring the parts where we're actually forced to drive, we don't really need a car. Especially now that we have the radio item. We can just teleport to the places we've visited. So right now, I'm going to teleport to the art gallery for Diane's side quest. Now, we have to actually wait until 1500 since if we try to finish her side quest now, we can't. She's inside her office and we can't really go there right now. So we have to pass the time either by smoking or by sleeping. Okay, so now it's exactly 1500, and as you can see, Diane is finally out of her office, so we can talk with her. So we just need to go through the gallery and find and talk to her to initiate her side quest and then finish it.
If you don't mind me asking, where is he now?
He who? Who are we talking about?
This is all ancient history. The woods, the pure little girl, my respect for my father.
Oh, did York mean Diane's father? Huh. Guess he did. Okay, so since we got the painting during our first exploration of the gallery, we can just talk with Diane again and then hand the painting over to her. Here we go.
I'd like to ask you about this painting.
Whoa, you don't need to shove it in her face, York. I don't think Diane would appreciate it if you just ended up hitting her with the painting.
And why do you have this painting?
I found it in the gallery, and it struck me as a little strange. Anything, even the smallest thing, can help me with the investigation.
I truly doubt this painting would have
I don't
anything to do
think
with your
that painting is
investigation.
actually part of our investigation.
On the
York.
back it says, Guardian of the Art Gallery. That's you, right?
You're wrong, Agent York. That is me in the painting, but the guardian of the art gallery that it refers to is not me. This was drawn by my father. He certainly wasn't a talented artist, but I was so happy when he gave me this painting. I used to love this painting so much. I wanted to hang it by the entrance of the gallery so everyone would see it. That way this painting would, in a sense, guard the gallery.
But it was locked up in a small room. Not a nice way to treat the Guardian. No, that'll be it. Apologies for prying and for bringing out this painting.
It's okay. It's nice to be able to talk about the past every so often. Here, take this. It's a small gift.
Zach, they say you have to look at the big picture. That was a painting of a little girl that was locked up in a gallery filled with paintings of trees. She'd be Alice if this was Wonderland.
Okay, so that's one side quest down. We still haven't actually finished York's car, the side quest for it. We just initiated it, so we have to wait for the morning in order to get the car and finish the side quest. So for that, let's teleport to Anna's tree and waste the day away. Since we can't really do much at this point, and I'd rather finish the side quest now than replay another chapter. we really don't have anything else to do but that. So let's go to the cabin. Like I've said, this is one of the best places to sleep and eat. I think it's called the graveyard trick, even though we're not actually in the graveyard. The name comes from the fact that you can also use the cabin, the bed in the graveyard to pass the time, since it also has an unlimited, I think it's a tomato spawn point. Anyway, let's grab a couple of pickles first, since we need to stock up as well if we're going to sleep and eat. Okay, I'm just gonna eat a couple so that we have a full hunger meter instead of just having like half. Then grab a can of pickle and another one, and then to the cabin we go. Okay, so we ended up waking a bit early. I mean, it's too early, as shown by the red clouds, which is a sign of the other world intruding into the real world, like it's bleeding into the real world. And we've also ended up being a stinky agent again because we haven't changed clothes in a while. So we need to fix that. But first, I will pass the time again, since I really don't like the fact that shadows, an infinite number of them, roam around this time. And it's not just the regular shadows we've met so far. There's also this huge demon dog who is as big as your car. So that's creepy, and I haven't tried to kill that yet. I tried running it over with a police car though, since you can kill shadows by running into them, but that didn't work. It was also actually a pretty stupid thing to do, since all it managed was, well, lowering my car's durability. Okay, so now we head back to Lysander's junkyard. And there we have York's car. We need to interact with the car, and we also need to ride it to be able to register it. Not just the car, but the completion of the side quest. Doing so will also register it as the default car, which had been up to this point the sheriff's car.
It feels so great to be back in my own car, Zach. Remember when I bought this beauty? We took it for a spin together.
But in the end, all we did was circle a few blocks and return home. Hardly worth starting the engine for, really. The General did a good job, though, didn't he?
Okay, so with that side quest done, we can continue on with the story. But first, let's give York's car a try. See if it really is the fastest in the game. Okay, so I decided to head back to the hotel, sleep there, since I wanted to change York's clothes so we can erase his stinky Asian status. And I've already done that. So it's now time to head back into the diner and maybe finish this chapter. As cool as using York's car is, I think I'll just teleport there. It'll save us quite a lot of time, and we don't really have much of that since we've only been given an hour to meet with Olivia. Okay, so now we're at the diner, and there's Nick leaving. Head over here. Wait. Okay. Let's head over here.
Well then, Olivia, talk to me.
Yes. In the beginning, Nick only went to the gallery during the day, but he went so often at some point he became friendly with Diane. They started going out drinking together, and now he doesn't come home until early morning. He always says that they were only drinking when I ask. He blames me for not being able to talk about Turner and Rembrandt, which of course I can't, can I? So what can I say? Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, so I followed him. He did go to the bar, to start with. Diane was there too, but the real problem is where they go to next, right? So I waited outside the bar to see where they might go. And they eventually left the bar and headed for the art gallery. But it was already early morning, but it was still dark. Just before going inside, Diane turned around. It should have been too dark to see me, but I swear, her eyes looked right at me. They seemed to flash for a moment. I was so rattled that I left and went home. The next day, Anna was found dead. I didn't know what to do. I went to the gallery to talk with Diane about it, to confront her. But once I was there, I couldn't find the courage to go through with it. Then I saw you there, and I just felt I had to go home. Nick has been seeing Diane every night recently. He just left for tonight, too. I really don't know what to do.
York, we have to take Nick in for questioning.
No, not yet. This alone isn't enough.
Emily, answer me!
This is Emily. Agent York is with me, too.
I've just received word from Thomas at the Sheriff's Department. Something has happened at Becky's house. It was called in by Quinn, but he wasn't making any sense. We have no further details. I've sent Thomas over there. Can you go back him up?
Yes, sir.
One other thing. It sounded like he said, Raincoat Killer.
Uh-oh, that sounds bad.
Related to the murder case. Take all
I hope,
precautions.
the Raincoat Killer doesn't get Becky.
No!
I mean, she seems like an important person to the case.
Oh, please, no!
Nick's actions are pretty suspicious, though.
Olivia,
Anyway, that's all the time we have for today.
Emily, take care of Olivia. I'm heading over there.
As always, like, share, and subscribe.
She lives in the big
And I'll see you all
house over
soon.
the lake. Hurry!
Dream on, fly on.
I just hope this isn't anything serious. Damn it, Zach. We may have screwed up